For more than 40 years, I have spent my life studying and learning from thousands of men and women who achieved great results in many areas of life. What I discovered still surprises me. True success does not start with what you do in the moment. It starts with how you think before you act. Your mind is an invisible workshop where your future is created. Every idea, every picture in your head, and every inner word works like a blueprint. It shapes your decisions and because of that, your results. When you understand this, you stop treating your thoughts as something small. You begin to see them as the raw material of your life. I clearly remember a time when my life was very different from today. I had no money, no powerful connections, and no university degree. I worked low-paid jobs, had long working hours, and no business experience. But there was one thing I could control: my inner talk and how I understood each situation. That is when I made my first big decision: to learn how successful people think, how they respond to problems, and how they stand up again after falling. That decision was invisible to others, but it changed everything for me. From that moment on, every day became a personal experiment. I asked myself, what would a successful person do here? What would they think? What would they feel? What would they say? As I honestly answered these questions, I noticed my outside life slowly began to match this new way of thinking. I learned that thoughts are not neutral. They are creative forces that shape behavior and results. When I changed my inner world, my outer world changed with it. Today, I want to share this truth with you as clearly as possible. If you want to grow, this moment can be your turning point. You do not need to wait for your situation to change. You can start now by training your mind to think in terms of possibilities, solutions, and clear goals. This daily practice is like installing high-performance software inside yourself. It helps you move forward with confidence even when life feels difficult. The ideas I will share with you are the strongest ones I have taught in talks, workshops, and books across many countries and cultures. They are not theories. They are proven principles used by thousands of people to change their lives. Here, you will learn how to build the same thinking patterns that successful people use to create stable and predictable results. Most importantly, you will learn how to apply them starting today. No matter where you come from or where you are right now, imagine your mind as a garden. Every thought you plant is a seed. If you plant doubt and fear, you will grow insecurity and stagnation. If you plant belief, discipline, and purpose, you will grow confidence and progress. This is the core of inner success, becoming the conscious gardener of your own mind. Every principle I share is a tool to help you take care of that garden with skill. That is why I invite you to make a simple but powerful commitment. Write in the comments, "Today I decide to think like a successful person." It may seem small, but it is not. It is the first brick in building a new mindset. When you write it, you send a clear message to your subconscious. This is my direction. This is my standard. Do not underestimate the power of declaring your intention. Sometimes a simple "today I decide" can start a complete transformation. That is how my journey began, and that is how the journey of thousands of others began too. You can do it as well. Do it now. After observing people for decades across different cultures and professions, I have seen this again and again. The real difference between those who achieve great results and those who stay stuck is not obvious on the surface. It is not higher intelligence or special talent at birth. It is a repeated way of thinking practiced every day. Successful people build their lives from the inside out, starting with the quality of their ideas and their inner dialogue. That is what guides everything else. When someone remains stuck, I almost always see the same pattern. Their mind is busy with problems, obstacles, and excuses. It is like planting doubt and fear and then feeling surprised when nothing grows well. Successful people, on the other hand, focus their energy on goals, solutions, and opportunities. Their mind becomes fertile ground where plans grow instead of excuses. I like to explain this with a simple example. It is as if two different signals exist. One repeats complaint, blame, and helplessness. The other repeats vision, possibility, and personal responsibility. Every morning, often without realizing it, you choose which one you listen to. That choice, even though invisible, changes your emotional and mental state. When you align yourself with opportunities, you begin to see paths where others see walls. Your perception expands and your decisions improve. I remember that in my early years, I used to focus on the wrong things. I thought about what I did not have, how hard it was to move forward, and how unfair the world felt. I later understood that this mental habit was keeping me stuck in the same place. Everything changed when I deliberately shifted my inner conversation. I started asking myself different questions. What can I do? What can I learn? How can I add value? That daily practice became the difference between moving forward and staying stuck. This does not mean ignoring real problems. It means facing them from a higher level of awareness. Average thinking focuses on describing the problem and complaining about it. Successful thinking focuses on defining the goal and creating a solution. This change in focus greatly increases your personal power. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you ask, "What can I do right now to improve this situation?" That simple question puts you in control of your life. Success-oriented thinking is proactive, creative, and future-focused. Successful people think in terms of cause and effect. They know that every action creates a result, and they consciously choose actions that lead to the results they want. Average thinking reacts to life without a plan or vision, like a boat with no direction being pushed by the current. Changing your mindset is like taking control of the steering wheel and choosing your own path. The most powerful part is that this invisible difference is available to everyone. Your past, your age, and your current resources do not matter. Every thought is a choice, and every choice strengthens a mental habit. You can train your mind to look for opportunities instead of excuses. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. This is the foundation of all success habits. So today I ask you, what way of thinking are you choosing? Complaints or vision? Remember, this is not about denying reality. It is about choosing the perspective from which you act. Every time you choose solutions over obstacles, you move from average results toward success. This invisible difference can completely change your future. I learned early that the human mind works like a magnet. It attracts whatever it focuses on most. If your main thoughts are fear, lack, and doubt, you will create experiences that confirm those ideas. But when your main thoughts focus on clear goals, solutions, and possibilities, your subconscious begins working day and night to make them real. This is the core idea of dominant thinking. Your life always moves in the direction of your most repeated thoughts. When I started applying this idea, my situation was simple and my future uncertain. Still, I made a firm decision. Every morning, I wrote my goals with clear dates and exact numbers, as if I were giving direct instructions to my mind. At first, it felt like a game. Soon, I realized I was building a mental blueprint. By receiving these repeated instructions, my subconscious began showing me opportunities, connections, and resources I had never noticed before. It felt like turning on an inner radar. Your conscious mind gives the orders, and your subconscious carries them out without questioning. If every day you tell it, "I can't," "This is too hard," or "This is impossible," it will work to prove those ideas true. But if you give it instructions of confidence, purpose, and growth, it will search for ways to make them real. That is why writing your goals is not a shallow habit. It is mental programming. I have seen business leaders, entrepreneurs, students, and athletes transform their results with this practice. This is not about daydreaming. It is about clearly deciding a direction and reinforcing it daily until it becomes your normal way of thinking. This is how you move from living by chance to living with intention. Every word you repeat, every image you allow, and every sentence you write slowly shapes who you become and how you decide. When your dominant thoughts are positive and specific, your body and mind respond. You make better decisions, notice opportunities you once ignored, and develop the confidence to act. It is like changing lenses. With a dirty lens, you only see obstacles. With a clean one, you see solutions and paths forward. I experienced this myself when I stopped focusing on what I did not want and focused only on what I wanted. That choice changed everything. Most people underestimate this idea because it seems too simple, but its simplicity is exactly what makes it powerful. You do not need special resources to use it, only discipline and consistency. Every morning, before checking your phone or social media, take a notebook and write your most important goals as if they are already real. Add dates, numbers, and clear details. The exercise is short, but its impact grows over time. This habit also forces you to clarify what you truly want. Many people feel lost, not because they lack talent, but because they lack a clear goal. Writing your goals, reading them out loud, and imagining yourself achieving them is like drawing a map in your mind. Without a map, you go in circles. With a map, you move forward with direction and confidence. That is the difference between reacting to life and designing it. I invite you to try this tool today. Write 3 key goals you want to achieve in the next few months and repeat them every morning for 30 days. Watch how your focus changes, how your energy rises, and how your subconscious starts showing you ideas and opportunities that match your goals. It is a small commitment, but it can start a deep transformation. I learned through experience that action is the strongest cure for insecurity. Many people tell me, I will act when I feel ready. My answer is always the same. You will feel ready after you start acting. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you build. Every time you delay a decision, you strengthen doubt. Every time you take a step, even a small one, you strengthen belief in yourself. That is how confidence is built, moving forward even when your voice shakes. When I worked selling door to door, there were days when everything felt against me. Angry people, bad weather, constant rejection. So I gave myself one simple rule: knock on one more door. That extra action, especially when I was tired, had a powerful effect on my mind. It proved to me that I controlled my thoughts, not the other way around. That one extra action, even when it did not lead to a sale, strengthened my identity as a persistent person. Paralysis works in the opposite way. The more you wait, the bigger fear becomes. Fear is like a shadow. When the light of decision goes out, the shadow grows. The only way to make it smaller is to move. That is why I teach my students that acting immediately builds confidence. You do not need a huge leap. One small step is enough, then another. Repeated action creates positive momentum. Massive action does not mean doing everything at once. It means acting with decision on what matters without waiting for perfect conditions. Successful people know that perfection is the enemy of progress. They start, adjust as they go, and learn faster than those who stay stuck planning forever. I have made mistakes by acting too early, but I have made many more by acting too late. Every early mistake taught me lessons that later gave me an advantage. Every action you take changes your inner dialogue. You move from I can't to I started, from this is hard to I am making progress. That silent shift is the foundation of growth. When you act, even in a small way, you send a clear message to your subconscious. I decide. I move. Over time, this message reshapes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as the main character of your life. Think today about your own one more door. Maybe it is sending that email you keep delaying, making that uncomfortable call, or sharing a project you have been perfecting for weeks. It does not matter how small it looks. What matters is breaking the pattern of waiting. That extra action is a signal to your brain. We are building momentum. And momentum is one of the strongest forces in success. Action creates a powerful cycle. Each step gives you new information. That information leads to better decisions. Better decisions bring results, and results increase confidence. This is an upward cycle. Inaction creates the opposite effect. Each day you delay, your goal feels farther away, your energy drops, and your confidence weakens. You choose which cycle you live in. My challenge is simple. Identify 3 small actions you can take today to move closer to your goal. Do not wait to feel inspired. Act first, and inspiration will follow. I still live by this rule every day. Consistent and intentional action is not just a business strategy. It is a way of life. When you adopt it, confidence grows until action becomes natural. Years ago, I learned that the mind works like a flight simulator. Whatever you practice in your mind prepares you for real life. Great athletes train not only their bodies, but also their imagination. They see success before it happens. I applied this same idea to my life and work. Every morning, I closed my eyes and imagined the future I wanted. I saw myself reaching my goals clearly. I felt the emotions. That quiet practice became my secret training ground. Visualization is not useless daydreaming. It is building a clear mental model that your subconscious later tries to make real. When I started doing this, my decisions naturally aligned with those inner images. Even if your goals feel far away today, visualizing them in detail trains your mind to notice opportunities and act with confidence. Just 5 minutes a day changed my life. 5 minutes seems small, but for your mindset, it is powerful. During that time, your mind learns to behave as if the goal is already achieved. When that happens, your actions, words, and posture begin to match it. This alignment attracts people, resources, and situations that fit your vision. Your nervous system does not clearly separate strong imagination from real experience. That is why mental practice works so well. You do not need special tools, just a quiet place. Close your eyes and clearly describe your success in your mind. What are you doing? Who is with you? What do you say to yourself? The more detailed it is, the stronger the effect. When visualization is combined with written goals, the impact multiplies. Writing brings clarity and commitment. Visualization brings emotion and direction. Together, they guide you even on days of doubt or tiredness. This combination helped me escape poverty, learn new skills, and become an international speaker. It was not luck, it was consistent mental training. Visualization also builds confidence because it trains you to see yourself winning. Many people imagine failure all the time and then wonder why they feel afraid. Change that habit. Practice seeing your best version, not your worst outcome. For the next 30 days, spend 5 minutes every morning visualizing your most important goal in detail. Even if it feels strange at first, do it anyway. Slowly, your thoughts, words, and decisions will adjust to that inner image. This mental training is one of the main differences between average people and those who achieve extraordinary things. For many years, I noticed that many talented people live behind a mask. They fear judgment, seek approval, and end up living a smaller version of themselves. I lived that way too. When I started selling door to door, I tried to be who I thought others wanted me to be. I forced smiles, copied other people's words, and hid my real opinions. It was exhausting and my self-worth suffered. I learned that pretending is like carrying an invisible weight. Others cannot see it, but it drains you every day. Everything changed when I understood that authenticity is not a luxury. It is a necessity for real confidence. The first time I spoke in my own voice, I felt fear, but also freedom. People connected with me more deeply because honesty creates trust. When you are authentic, you stop wasting energy on masks and redirect it toward growth, creation, and service. Being authentic does not mean being rude. It means living according to your values. Each small act of honesty strengthens your self-respect. Authenticity is a skill you can train. At first, it feels uncomfortable, but with practice, it becomes natural. I started with small steps, sharing my real opinion, dressing in a way that felt true to me, and protecting my time. Each act strengthened my confidence. My mind learned one powerful message: I am enough as I am. Authenticity attracts the right people and pushes away what does not fit. You may lose some situations, but you gain the ones meant for you. I saw this clearly when fewer people rejected me, but those who stayed trusted me more. Living authentically brings clarity, creativity, and energy. People who stop pretending often discover hidden talents and true passion. Make a quiet promise to yourself today. Choose authenticity in one situation. Speak honestly, set a boundary, or simply be yourself without apology. These small acts build real confidence. Finally, remember this: your mind is like a garden. What you plant grows. Positive ideas grow strength. Negative ideas choke your dreams. Be careful with what you consume mentally. News, conversations, and thoughts are food for your mind. Their quality shapes your energy and decisions. Try a 30-day positive mental diet. Feed your mind with inspiration, supportive people, and gratitude. Limit negativity and noise. After 30 days, you will notice clearer thinking, steadier emotions, and bigger goals. Remember this truth: your outer life reflects your inner world. If you think with fear, you live with fear. If you think with belief, gratitude, and energy, that is what you attract. Do not wait for life to change to think differently. Think differently, and life will begin to change. Everything starts with one thought and one decision. You can start today. If you reach this point, write in the comments. Today, I decide to think like a successful person. True greatness is improving yourself every single day.